گفتگوی اختصاصی انجمن جهانی پاسداشت حقوق بشر در ایران با اعضای پارلمان اروپا.
I am a member of the European Parliament from Estonia. I am here now for almost 8 years. I am a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee and Security and Defense Subcommittee, and also member of the Parliament's Iraq.
Current perceptions of Iran.
I think we have reached an understanding that Iran is concerning all of us, all over the world, but especially in Europe, because speaking about current dictatorships, I think we in Europe, we have to realize that we are co-responsible for these situations, because as in the case of Gaddafi in Libya and several other dictators and strongmen, we have been supporting them and ignoring the opposition, ignoring blatant human rights violations, which is absolutely clear as for Iran. In addition, Iran has its nuclear weapons program. Nobody has doubts about it. And I think nobody has doubts that the Iranian present regime is not going to abandon it. It's only trying to win time to complete it with unpredictable results for the world community. So I think that a peaceful change in Iran is in the order of the day. In 3 years' time, there will be 110 years from the first Iranian revolution in 1905, the first such revolution in Asia. And I think this is a good symbol that situation could be changed. Coming from the Soviet Union, I have been living under Soviet communist totalitarian regime for half a century. I can only say that any dictatorship is doomed to collapse. The question is of time, when and how. And I think Iranian population has understood the cruelty of this dictatorship, the lack of perspective for normal life under it, and also the situation that every dictatorship will bring its citizens, most of its citizens, into misery, into economic problems like inflation, rising living standards, costs of living, not living standards, and there's a huge potential for change. But I think it's the responsibility of democratic countries not to be hesitant before this change, but to understand it more deeply, to be involved and provide assurances for those who are ready to stand up that they will be not left alone protesting and to be shot and imprisoned, but that the European community will react and be with them. We proved it against the odds in case of Libya. We have so far failed in case of Syria, which is a closest ally to Ahmadinejad's regime. But the logic of historic events is showing clearly only in one direction. We can abstain or we can be part of it. If we abstain, we'll bear responsibility for possible victims, more people to be imprisoned, more people to be suppressed or to emigrate. And I think we have to realize in Europe, here in Brussels, that Iran is part of the world culture. It's one of the riches of humanity, with so many brilliant representatives of culture, science, and also civil resistance. I am hopeful that this change could be achieved, and we have to be part of it.
Excellent, thank you. I think you've answered my other questions, but just as you've looked around our exhibition, was there anything in particular that stood out for you?
I think this tradition of Iran starting revolution already almost 110 years ago, but also the variety of Iranian culture and population. Under the present regime, there are huge so-called minorities who are not minorities at all, like Azeris and Kurds and many others, who have whose possibilities for retaining their national culture and language have been suppressed. And this is another problem and another potential, because these people can't be satisfied to continue to live under the present regime.
Absolutely perfect. And finally, what do you think would be the best way to reach a democratic system, the society in Iran, to help that human rights be protected in the future?
We can't rely on the present regime. It has become very clear. We can't believe their promises, even if they would like to make any promises at all. So I think the best guarantees for Iran's future will be a formally secular state, which would guarantee the rights of everyone, who will be non-violent, who will not apply violence to their counterparts and other people. And this, the only way to achieve it is preparing an understanding and reaching cooperation between different groups of population, different religious groups and opposition groups just now, not when the change will start once again. We had a very hopeful sign of the change some years ago after the last presidential elections, but so we know that millions of people are not satisfied, but they are expecting now clear indications of support by Europe and by America. Will we be on their side if the new protests will start, or will we abstain, wash our hands and say yes, let them do, but we'll still believe in Iranian government until it is there?
Thank you so much. That was brilliant. Thank you very much.